Jay Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, and so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show. Booyah!
And we welcome you to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Welcome to the PCC
Let's go.
Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show here on WKYC Channel 3. It's the Browns and the Niners 50 hours from now. I'm Jay Crawford. Later in the show, I'll give you my pre-written headline. Who wins this game and why? Bull?
Jay, I'm Adam the Bull, and I'm going to tell you how P.J. Walker, yes, P.J. Walker and not Deshaun Watson, has a chance to get it done for a Browns victory. G.
Bull is G. Bush, captain in the Kool-Aid Mafia. I'll tell you why. You will actually enjoy watching this game, even though Deshaun Watson is not playing. Jason?
I'm Jason Lloyd. Remember that 80s movie, Full Metal Jacket? You're going to watch it again on Sunday. We'll talk about it later on. Mikey.
I'm Mikey McNuggets, and the best individual one-on-one matchup in the entire NFL this weekend is happening right here in Cleveland. We're going to tell you who's going to win.
Yeah, I think I know what that matchup is, and it's worth the price of admission. It's two future Hall of Famers going up against one another, mano a mano, a lot of strength in that matchup. It may have something to do with who wins the game. All right, let's start with a bit of breaking news. It came out this morning. It is official. The Browns have now officially ruled out Deshaun Watson for Sunday's game against the 49ers. And, guys, that means P.J. Walker, and I'm not talking about, Walker, Texas Ranger. I didn't even know what this guy looked like until I saw his picture earlier today. That can be a bit of a problem. He's the quarterback. Simply asked, what does he have to do for this team to win?
Well, he has to hand off the ball, and then hand off the ball, and then hand off the ball, and then hand off the ball. I mean, that's the only hope. The Browns have to run it well, run it well, and run it often. And if they can't do that, then the offense will have no chance. P.J. Walker has played a few games for Carolina last year. He had one game. There was one game, a wild one in overtime. I think they beat Atlanta, where he played pretty well. Outside of that, he's really struggled mightily in his career. But their only way to be successful is to get the running game, because not only does that give them the ability to move the ball and potentially score, it also keeps this great Niners offense off the field.
Yeah. Have you seen Kevin Stefanski call a game since he got? When have they ever run the ball and run the ball and run the ball?
Well, he's got to do it this week.
And that's when they had Nick Chubb.
I'm not saying I have confidence that it'll happen. I'm saying he's got to do it this time.
You're saying if Bull was the coach.
I would be doing it. And I love to pass, but not this week.
Well, I agree with that, but also there are going to be opportunities where he has to throw the ball, obviously. Get the ball out on time, on target, and don't turn it over. That's the whole key for me. Interceptions are a backbreaker in this game. You cannot give San Francisco a short field. You will have no chance to win this game. Be cautious with the ball. Be careful with the ball. Don't throw it into tight coverages. We saw some horrible throws from DTR a couple weeks ago. The game was too fast for him. That can't happen again. Just be conservative with it. Get it out on time, on target, and take care of it. That's really what you need to get out of him.
After watching all 22 last week, a couple weeks ago against the Ravens, DTR missed a lot of wide open guys on the check down. The release valve guy, David Njoku, chipping, helping Jed Wills, is open in the flats, guys. Listen, the running backs that are chipping and blocking, they're open in the flats, guys. Don't look for all the big shots. Don't look for all the big crazy throws over the middle to Amari Cooper. Hit the check down, give you guys a little opportunity to make some moves, get some yardage after catch, and let's stay within the sticks. No big sacks, no running around, and let's make sure that we can stay in first, second, third, and manageable. That's how you'll be able to compete in this game.
They cannot afford to be in situations where the Niners know they're throwing the ball.
No.
And those situations are a disaster.
Well, number one on my list was stay on schedule.
Yeah.
And so if you're looking at third and anything longer than 8 or 9,
just punt.
This
just punt on third down.
You laugh, but it might. If you're 3rd and 17, I hope P.J. Walker can punt the football.
Yeah, well, draw play. That's what they're going to do.
I mean, at this point, really, if you start thinking about it, once a team, and we see this with Cleveland, once a team knows what you're going to do, they're halfway to beating you. And they're going to know what you're going to do if it's 3rd and longer than 8. You're going to have to drop him back. and they're going to pin their ears back with the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year and Nick Bosa, and they're going to get after this guy. They're going to basically say, to beat us, you're going to have to find receivers with men in your face. So pick up the rush as well as you can on the offensive front. I don't have a lot of confidence they can do that. And also, obviously, the time possession. If they possess the ball 38 minutes to San Francisco's 22, there's a chance.
Yeah.
You've got to keep this high-powered offense off the field. Quick throws, easy throws. I think Njoku, who we don't know if he'll play or not, initially Mary Kay said this morning, unlikely to play, but the good news is he's practicing right now.
Looks like he's going to
We don't know about Bitonio either.
We don't know about Joel.
Which also further weakens the offensive line. You mentioned quick throws. They have to. I mean, P.J. Walker has no ability, and this team has no ability right now
Niners are going
to
to
throw the ball down the field.
Niners are going to put 8 in the box.
Right.
All day long.
And
It's
and
going to
just
make
dare
running
him to
so
beat them with the
And
pass.
this team has struggled to run the ball since Nick went out to begin with. Now they're going to be running against 8 and 9 men fronts. The Ravens ran 9 against them in the box a couple of years ago. It can be done. I fully expect San Francisco to do it again.
All right, let's talk
There's
about...
no fear at all from the Niners.
No.
Right.
Like on anybody in the Browns offense.
Let's talk about Kevin Stefanski, because when he came here, he was kind of looked at as this offensive whiz kid, even though he'd only been the coordinator in Minnesota for 1 year. His 2020 season, we saw flashes of that. We saw a diverse offense. They made the playoffs. Everything looked good. But I think offensively, he's taken a step back in each of the last 2 years. Is this the game where he can restamp his offensive genius credentials? With a win over this team, will that kind of cement him as, oh yeah, this guy can do it?
I think it's asking a lot. When you had P.J. Walker as your quarterback and no Joel Bitoni and no Nick Chubb, and you want him to make
But it's
this
going to
the
take a
mastery
genius
game.
effort to do that.
But this is what I'll say about Kevin. He got the best out of Jacoby Brissett. He got the best out of Baker Mayfield. Guys, if you go back and look at their quarterback rating over their careers, they had their best seasons with Kevin. He can get the most out of average quarterbacks, and P.J. Walker, if I'm being kind, is an average NFL quarterback. So he knows how to work with limited quarterbacks. He knows how to get the best out of them. It's just a tall task. If you want to stake his reputation on this game with no Bitonio, no Deshaun, no Nick Chubb, and this is the game you want him to go out and cook you a meal, boy, you better take some Pepto.
Listen, man, I know that he gets the best out of average people. My ex-wife said the same thing about me. But at the end of the day, you got to actually be able to do something with what you got in the stables. I would respect him if he's able to do something he didn't do last week, which is get DTR in a position to make easy, comparable throws that he can be confident and build some momentum with. You got P.J. Walker in this game as well. I don't want to see the 5 wide, Kev. No 5 wide. Turn around and hand it off. I understand you're going to have to throw the football, but always give these guys a run-pass option, because when you're playing a defense like this, it's going to be uphill battle. I think that he was never really too much of a genius, but I will give him credit if he can come in with a great defense like this and keep this game close.
This could be the week where we go back to 13 personnel and a lot of 3 tight ends.
Mikey McNuggets mentioned yesterday this question: can Stefanski get his genius credentials back? I laughed out loud. He never had genius credentials, and I'm someone who's defended Stefanski as much as anybody in this town. He's done a perfectly okay job with the offense at times, and yes, he got the best out of Baker at the end of 2020, although Baker's playing well right now, so we'll see if it ends up being the best by the end of this year. And I guess he got the best out of Jacoby Brissett. It wasn't that good. No genius credentials. There's only like 3 or 4 offensive coaches in the league who I would say genius credentials. Nobody would ever confuse Kevin Stefanski with a offensive play calling genius, ever. Not in 2020, not now. He's okay, but that's it.
So here's the problem I have with this, and I've talked about this for the last year and a half on the show. I see flashes of brilliance. I see there's potential to be a genius, because he has not been a genius for any long stretch in the NFL. But when you look at his record against the Cincinnati Bengals, who have been the yardstick in this division while Stefanski has been here, they can't beat Kevin Stefanski. And Kevin Stefanski's offense in all of those games against the Bengals looks like the offense that can take you to an AFC Championship game. The problem is, the second the lights go out in the stadium after the Bengals-Browns game, that genius dissipates. And then we watch him against the Steelers. Can't find the end zone. Against the Ravens, forget which way they're going. I need some sort of consistency and stability out of Kevin Stefanski.
I don't think just because he's had some good games against the Bengals that gives him genius
But
credentials.
Bull, the Bengals are a great team.
Yeah, but first of all, the offense wasn't great against the Bengals in this first game this year. The Bengals beat them
I don't
the
know,
second
they
game.
scored 27 on a bad field.
Yeah, but the defense contributed to that too,
They
big time.
did, but the offense was
the offense was not very good in that.
They're
in
beating
that game.
when you beat the AFC, a team that's earmarked for the AFC Championship
Yeah.
game by 24.
I hear you,
mean,
but that was more about the defense than the offense.
was-
That makes you a one-trick pony.
This is what I want to see. What I want to see out of Kevin Stefanski, and we haven't seen it for any stretch, is string a couple of games in a row together. In his first season in 2020, they won 4 in a row twice. He hasn't done that since. He only won 3 in a row once since then,
Right.
and that was in 21.
Guys,
After that, it's win, lose, win, lose.
It's laughable to say he has genius credentials. He's never won a playoff game. The team won 1 playoff game without him.
That's fact.
And that's it.
That's a fact.
He has no genius credentials. That's laughable. It's ridiculous. And Mike should be punched in the face for the question.
You're revoked. No
That's
genius.
a little extreme.
It's pretty extreme.
Sorry, I got carried away,
All right,
Mike.
when we come back, it's the
Don't punch Mike in the
number
face.
1 defense in the NFL against the number 2 defense in the NFL. We'll talk about that. We're coming right back after this message from PCC Airports. We welcome you back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on WKYC Channel 3. There was so much excitement when we looked at the schedule when it first came out about this game. Ooh, San Francisco, yardstick team in the NFL. Browns, playoff expectations. Another great defense. Some of that is fizzled with Deshaun Watson being out, but you're still going to see statistically the best 2 defenses in the NFL on Sunday. Granted, the San Francisco offense is much better than the Browns offense, so they have a significant advantage there.
Yep.
But what do you expect to see with these 2 defenses?
I expect them to go blow for blow, toe for toe. You got Nick Bosa, who's one of the best defensive pass rushers in the game. You look at Myles Garrett, who's a great pass rusher in his own right, wants to be Defensive Player of the Year. And I think what Jim Schwartz is going to do is he's going to capitalize on the fact that they had a terrible opportunity or a terrible time stopping a run against the Baltimore Ravens. Misdirection things, Lamar Jackson got loose. I think Jim Schwartz has his guys motivated. If you notice, we've been hearing a lot of whispers from offense and people. We ain't heard nothing from nobody on defense. Yeah. That means I believe they'll be focused and they're going to make this game muddy, Bull.
2 weeks ago, the defense was, in a way, I guess everybody was unprepared for Deshaun Watson not playing. That's not the case. You've had 2 weeks to get ready. The defense knows they have to win this game.
They have to throw a perfect game.
Right. They have to play, they have to play a perfect game. So there's no excuse here. You can't, the offense is going to handicap you. We know that. The defense has to be able to overcome the offensive struggles and beyond that, help them. The one thing they haven't done well, Jay's talked about it a lot, they haven't forced turnovers. They need to do that this week to win.
Yeah, it's crucial. They create a short field for their offense at least once, if not twice. You know, the reason the Browns moved up statistically is because the Cowboys were up there and the 49ers dismantled them last week.
That's right.
And I think there's something to be learned from that. The Browns can watch that film and see the way that they neutralized Micah Parsons. He was a non-factor in that game. Look at some of the things that San Francisco was successful with in Dallas and try and change it up a little bit. I think it's going to be a fun game if you like defense. It'll be a low-scoring game. Take the under.
Yeah, I'm with you. Take the under all day, every day. And something we haven't really talked much about, guys, the weather is not going to be good. Expect Cincinnati conditions, supposed to rain on Sunday. Also, it's going to be colder than it was for the Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
So obviously that leads to a sloppy game. Bull touched on it. Here's my biggest point. If the Browns come out of this game and they either lose the turnover battle or they do not force a turnover, we're looking at a blowout. The only way they stay in this football game is if they finally, because they haven't done it this year, if they start taking the ball away. They're 30th in the NFL in takeaways. And I know we talk about this team being the top-ranked defense and a special defense. The first 3 games, they had the first, second, and third best defensive performances in the entire league.
Right.
The one thing they're not doing is taking the football. And great defenses do that. And they play complementary football. When they give the offense a short field, the offense does enough to punch it in. Got to win the turnover battle, and I think you've got to win it significantly. I'll even go so far to say the Browns need at least one defensive score.
Yeah.
If they do that, I think they can play with San Francisco.
Well, think about two of the teams that the Niners have beaten already, Dallas and Pittsburgh. All right? Both those teams have really good defenses, right? We'd all agree Dallas and Pittsburgh have at the very least top 10 defenses.
Right. Yeah.
They've scored 72 points against Pittsburgh
Wow.
and Dallas.
Okay, now
72.
Now I'm scared. We're taking a break. When we come back, this game has some unbelievable individual matchups. None better than the San Francisco left tackle against one Myles Garrett. We break down those matchups when the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on Channel 3 comes right back. And we welcome you back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show here on WKYC. We're here every Friday, 12:30 to 1 during the NFL season. We're previewing the Browns game, which this week is the San Francisco 49ers. McNuggets, there are a lot of individual matchups that ultimately will go a long way in determining who wins. Let's break some of them down, shall we?
Yeah, the first and the biggest one, as you guys mentioned, the future Hall of Fame left tackle Trent Williams, the future Hall of Fame defensive end Myles Garrett. G, in this one-on-one matchup, who do you give the advantage to?
Well, Trent Williams is by far the best left tackle in the game. You said earlier, 100% in his pass rush or pass blocking efficiency. Myles Garrett is by far the most double-team guy in the game. I'm going to actually surprisingly give this matchup to Myles Garrett for one reason. Jim Schwartz has unlocked him. He's letting him move around. Myles Garrett won't be on Trent Williams every single time. He'll be over the center. He'll be over the three technique. He'll be on the right-hand side, left-hand side. He'll do a lot of things to get Myles Garrett open and have matchups and move away from Trent Williams a little bit. It'll be more of a moving scheme for Myles Garrett. I give him the go-ahead for this matchup.
Wow.
Jason?
It could go either way. This is so close. You could easily make a case, and you did for Myles. I'll say Trent only because I'm going to go off recent history. Micah Parsons is just as dominant as Myles Garrett is an NFL player. Not one pressure last week when he was matched up against Trent Williams. And in 3 games in his career, Trent against Micah Parsons, he's had 2 pressures, and I think it was like 26 attempts. So he has handled this type of elite talent level before at a pass rush spot. If he does struggle a little bit, they can always slide someone else over and double him. Myles doesn't have that advantage of having a second guy help him out.
He can't move, though. He can go to the other side.
He can move. But in those matchups where it's Trent against Myles, I have to give a very slight edge to Trent, just very slight. But if you're going to the game, just watch that. You're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
Next up, how about Denzel Ward versus Deebo Samuel? Jay, start us off on this one.
I like Denzel. I like him a lot. I think he's still one of the best cover corners in the NFL. I think he slipped a little bit last year, and that gave some people some pause coming into this season. But he's been asked to do a lot in this Jim Schwartz defense. Primarily, get the other team's best receiver and lock him down, man him up. And I think he has filled that bill. And Deebo Samuel, I think Deebo is a great player. He really is. I'm just giving a very slight edge here to Denzel. Bull? How do you see it?
I'm going with Denzel Ward as well in this one. I think it's a great matchup. Listen, in these matchups, the guy who wins is not going to win on every single play. But I like Deebo, but I think Denzel is a higher class of corner than Deebo is a wide receiver.
All right.
Next up, how about the other Ward in this matchup? Travarius Ward, San Francisco's top cornerback, against Amari Cooper. Jay, start us off.
Yeah, I really struggled with this one. I got to tell you, Amari Cooper is, I think, one of the best route runners in the NFL, and he is it, guys. When you look at the wide receiver production from this Browns offense, it reminds me of the outfield home run production from the Cleveland Guardians. It's not just bad, it's all-time bad outside of Amari Cooper. So for that reason, I think they're going to give extra help and attention on Amari Cooper because they don't think anybody else in this core can beat them. It's going to be a tough day for Amari Cooper, and I think Ward might have a slight edge in this one.
Jason?
Yeah, I have to agree with you on Ward just because of who's throwing the ball to Amari, and that makes a big difference as well. And so, if Deshaun's in this game, I probably would give the edge to Amari Cooper just because of his veteran know-how, knows how to get open, knows how to run routes, a very skilled route runner, one of the best in the league. But just because of the inability of the Browns offense to push the ball down the field, I fear is coming in this game with PJ. I have to go with Ward.
And our last one is not actually a player-on-player matchup. It's a coach versus coach. It is Kyle Shanahan versus Jim Schwartz. Bull, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I am going to have to give the edge to Kyle Shanahan, even though Jim Schwartz has had the edge in this matchup before, and that's just because of the situation of the game. Jim Schwartz is going to have to deal with the fact that his offense isn't going to give him any help. And I just think as talented as the Browns' defense is, it's very talented, it's very good. They're behind the 8 ball because of their offense. I think Kyle Shanahan, right now at this moment in time, nobody's doing a better job than him in calling offense. And, I mean, listen, it's razor-thin difference, but I give a minuscule edge to Kyle Shanahan, G.
Bull, you're lost in the sauce. I'm going to tell you why. I drank Kool-Aid before I came on air, and I'm going to tell you what. Jim Schwartz is not playing around with Kyle Shanahan. 8-1, his defenses have been everywhere. He's played in 4 different places, and his defenses have still dominated Kyle Shanahan. I will say this. Hey, the Cleveland Browns offense is going to be limited because there is no Deshaun Watson. That ain't got nothing to do with this defense. They're big, they're bad, they're fast. They're playing at home, and it's wet and rainy. Guess what? I got the Browns Kool-Aid Mafia in the building.
All right.
Love that. Hey, just so you know, if you're looking for a job with career advancement and great benefits, well, PCC Airfoils is the leading manufacturer in Northeast Ohio. All locations of PCC Airfoils in Eastlake, Menor, Wickliffe, and Minerva are hiring for all positions starting at $18 and up. Plus, full benefit packages, paid time off, and a signing bonus. You can apply online at precast.com/careers to learn more. Jay, what's
We're
up
coming
next?
right back, and it's one of my favorite segments, pre-written headlines. The 5 of us will tell you not just who wins, but how, when the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show comes right back. Welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. If you love us on Channel 3, you're really going to love us on YouTube. Every Monday through Friday, 11 to 1, and a post-game show every Sunday at the 2-minute warning of the 4th quarter. You can't miss that. It's a complete wrap-up show. Time for our pre-written headlines. Bull, you're on deck first.
Thank you, Jay. I wish I could pick a Browns win here, but I got to be realistic. No Watson, no chance. Defense plays well, but Browns fall to Niners 17-3. You know, listen, we're all hoping I'm wrong. I don't know what you guys predicted, but I just can't see a way. Again, beyond, well, it's football. You never know. I can't see a way the offense can muster much against the Niners. I think they get up early. I think the defense does all they can. Holding this Niner team to 17 would be pretty impressive. I just can't see the Browns scoring much in this game.
All right. Jay?
Remember the movie Full Metal Jacket? Remember the scene in the bunk bed when poor Private Pyle got tied down to the bed and everyone in his platoon put soap in the pillowcase and ran by him and they all hit him and they all hit him again and he left him sobbing? Private Pyle gets cleansed again on Sunday, guys. Sorry about that. Niners pummel the shorthanded Browns with soap and pillowcases. I just have a feeling this could get ugly.
Wow.
P.J. Walker at quarterback, no Joel Bitonio, no Nick Chubb. It's going to be a lot of soap and pillowcases on Sunday.
You savages, you guys. You guys.
Gee, don't tell me you took the Browns. Don't tell me you took the Browns.
It's the ultimate Kool-Aid intoxication if he does.
Hey, listen.
We got to pump your stomach if you took the Browns.
You guys been drinking NyQuil. You're sleepy. Headline reads, Fool's Gold Rush.
No, you did not.
Drunk on Kool-Aid. Walker minds the Niners. And guess what I had just to back up? Listen, this is 1 for a punt return, Kool-Aid. This is 1 for a pick 6, Kool-Aid. This is P.J. Walker getting that dub. Kool-Aid, baby. Let's get it done.
So it's official. It is official now. I thought that he was the biggest Browns homer ever. This proves.
But he's been killing them for 2 weeks.
I know. You can't pick against them, no matter what. And this game proves that.
I woke up today. Shout out to Nick Carnes. Yeah, I'm the biggest.
Yeah, we got it. We got cocky G-Bug.
We
There
have to have an intervention.
I know.
Send you to Kool-Aid Anonymous.
Listen, Monday he's going to come in. He's going to be hot. Here's mine, and I'm with Bull, and I'm with Jason. There's no chance. Purdy Niners stay perfect. San Francisco just too much for the battered Browns. I mean, the injury list is growing. It looks like Njoku might go because he's practicing, but Bitonio is still out with the knee. It's too much to ask for, even with this great defense. And Purdy's so good. McNuggets, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. How about the Brock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh,
49ers,
nice.
Purdy all night after last second win. A little homage to Kiss here. And shout out to
Well
Anthony
done.
for the graphics. I think it's close, but I can't see the Browns pulling this one out with P.J. Walker. I just can't.
That's really good. It is. So, hey, if you're right, you take your victory lap on Monday.
Can you imagine if I'm right? Kool-Aid Mafia hoodies around the globe,
Free for everybody.
Free for everybody. Just hey,
No,
you
don't
get,
give them away for free.
You get one. You get one.
Hey,
you
we're
get
wrapping
one.
it up. Don't forget the 2-minute warning on Sunday. Go to YouTube, type in UCSS, and watch the postgame show. Enjoy the game. We will see you next week.